I actually fucked up because my TV was turned down, and I see where the bot says it's deafened, so I thought it wasn't playing. I only knew it was playing because you guys started posting stuff, and that's just my audio settings. So I didn't do the ping, but that's okay. I'm gonna do the ping and then just begin the show. Either you're here or you're not. All the shit's recorded anyways. It's fine. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the April 28th episode, 2023 episode of Thalmor Radio. Pew, 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 kapow, kapow. It is global war time. Every alliance in the game, except for Guardian and Grumpy and Legion of Dawn and Oblivion. Those four alliances aren't fighting, and ASM. Those five alliances aren't fighting. Every other alliance that matters, although ASM doesn't matter. But like those are the alliances that aren't fighting that actually have like some like presence somewhere, right? So here's the thing. Um, you're here listening to me. There are 3 shows this week you need to listen to on top of tonight. Last Saturday was the drunk show. Okay? It got crazy. It got really crazy. I'm not going to say what happened. That's a mystery for you to discover if you weren't here. Go listen to the drunk show. It was a good time. Tuesday or Monday? I don't remember when, but Midgard and Aurora started fighting. I did a bonus emergency war show about that. Go listen to that. And then the day afterwards is when everyone else hit Fortuna. And then Lysander did a show of some kind on Ron. And I say show of some kind because Lysander wanted to do his Leon Lion broadcast, but to Krampus, it was a Royal Orbis radio episode. So I don't actually know de jure what show it was, but Lysander did a show in Ron for that war, and it was also pretty good. With the Thalmor theme song. So here's the thing. I am going to drop some Thalmor radio lore, okay? There is a quiet relationship between Thalmoria and Ron, okay? And the relationship works like this. Thalmoria, small server, right? Ron, big server. Ron has the leverage there, right? But I do my show, and you people like listening to me for some reason. Meanwhile, Krampus can't get anyone to do a show in Ron. So I have the leverage. So there's kind of a back and forth where sometimes I'll do a show in Ron in exchange for some promotion, right? This has been going on for some time now. So when Lysander says he's going to do a show, and a person from Ron sneaks right in his DMs and says, do it in Ron, and he agrees, then it's like, I think to the Ron people, that was like, when we do a show in Ron, it's called a Royal Orbis Radio. So I guess the Blitz show was a Royal Orbis Radio, which traditionally I do, which is why the Thalmor Radio themed play, I think. So very weird setup going on there, but it was a good show. Like 100 listeners. Lysander deserves it, by the way. Great presentator, great speaker. Vane came on. Vane Sama came on, spoke a little bit. Loga of Eclipse came on, spoke a little bit. Vass and Kev came on, spoke some. It was a good showing. Sketchy came on, acted sketchy. go listen to it. So 3 shows, several hours of content. It's pretty good. Go do it. Go listen to it. All of them, all 3 of them. Now, here's the thing. I will discuss more what the actual drama is later in the show. But for this minute, this is what you need to know. I have opened up Thalmor v. Aurora and Thalmor v. Khan. 2 new court cases are open. One against Aurora, one against Khan. Go check the current case room in the High Court of Thalmor for some more details. If you are interested in prosecuting and or defending in either case, say so in chat right now. Just put 1 in chat. Type 1 in chat if you're interested. To be determined, Cajun. Toxic. It's in current case in the High Court of Thalmor stuff. It should be below. It's in the server. If you just scroll below, it should be there. Thank you, General Napoleon, for sharing it. No one's volunteering, but that's okay. Look, if no one wants to prosecute or defend, then the cases just won't go to trial. So, Toxic, whenever there's a trial, I work with everyone involved to schedule the best time for everyone. It's to be determined. It could take weeks to go to trial, but it depends on when everyone's available, and I gotta give both sides time to prepare their cases. So, if you think Aurora is in the wrong by hitting Midgard with this whole 72-hour thing, you can prosecute them. If you think Khan did something wrong as government in Legion of Dawn, which we'll get into more later, he can be prosecuted. And of course, someone needs to defend him, as is standard in the case. Folks, the High Court has had 4 trials in the past 2 years, all to completion. It's been a fun time each time. There you go. So final call, is anybody interested in prosecuting either case? Let's start there. Does any Midgard peoples want to say your piece for the record books by prosecuting Aurora, for example? Chat is dead. I'm guessing not. That's okay. If anyone changes their mind or you think you know someone who might, DM me and we can set it up. So I'm going to go ahead and move on. This one, I'm going to get a bit out of character here just because I think it's funny. Because, folks, if you've been listening long enough, you know I don't like the government, okay? And I make lots of jokes about stuff you probably couldn't make on the radio, right? You know, I remember, if you've been listening for a while, you might remember the bit me and my friends did. We had jail blasters, and we did a whole bit that the recording of this is lost, but we did a whole bit at being of the show where we were yelling and shooting the jail blasters inside, making it sound like we were fighting the feds. And it was really funny. And that recording's been lost. But folks, for real, no cap, I might go to jail. This is on the table right now. I had jury duty this week. I forgot about it. In theory, I could be prosecuted for contempt of court. This is something that is on my mind. I've reached out to my attorney. He hasn't gotten back with me. I'll probably call him tomorrow, even though it's Saturday. They haven't called me. They haven't emailed me, and no police they have my address. No police have visited my house. So I'm probably okay. Toxic, it's a business attorney, but he's done some criminal stuff in the past, and he works he's familiar with the court and the judge. So he's my best contact for this right now. So I don't think anything's going to happen. If it does, I actually do have a good excuse to like convince the judge not to send me to jail. And if I do go to jail, I anticipate it'd only be for like a day or something, or like a weekend. It would be shitty. It would be bad. I don't want it. I want to avoid jail, but it wouldn't be for very long. So we'll see what happens. So we have Thalmor versus Khan. Well, now we're going to have Breathitt County versus Thalmor. So that's going to be funny. Well, thank you, Lysandra. But unfortunately, the attorney has to be able to practice in the state. And the expense of hiring a really good attorney to defend contempt of court is just not really worth it. Because, like, or I could just be fined $100. Like, I said I could go to jail. It would only be for a night or a weekend. I don't think they would give me like even a week for missing out on jury duty. So there you go. As a punishment, the judge could make you delete your nation. I am protected by the Constitution against cruel and unusual punishment. And that would certainly be a very cruel punishment. Yes, I filled out the paperwork. I submitted it. I was told to show up. I think the first trial was in January, and I showed up, and I almost made the jury because there was 120 of us. Then they selected 31 of us for voir dire, and I was on the 31, and I made it to where it was a civil case. I made it to where both sides were determining which 12 they wanted, and I didn't make that cut. So I came pretty close to actually getting seated on a jury in a medical malpractice case that's going to last like a week. There were 2 more trials. They settled the night before, so we didn't get called in. This final trial this week, I was supposed to call in earlier this week. I forgot about it until last night. I called and the reporting said jurors must show up. So it's like, fuck, I missed it. So we'll see what happens. It'll be okay though. I don't think anything will happen. If anything happens, I have a good excuse. And if the judge says fuck you, Thalmor, it's only gonna be like a day or something. I'm not really that worried about it. It's going to suck. But it'll be okay. I'm going to smile in my mugshot, and I'm going to smile a little big on my mugshot, and if I do get arrested, I'm tempted to actually post it here. Maybe. We'll see. Actually, I'll probably post it in KT chat. That'd be funny. All right. So, anyways, all right. I talked about court and jail enough. Let's talk about the game. Let's talk about the real jail. Let's talk about the prison that holds us all, and that being politics and war. So, Aurora, you ever been in a sketchy situation where something just didn't feel right? Like maybe you're at some new place's home, or your friend brings one of his friends and there's something off about him and you just want to get away. Like you just get that ick. Aurora got that ick. Aurora woke up, had the coffee, looked outside the front porch, saw the field across the road, and said, "Something's off. Something's wrong." And Aurora did an incantation. They spoke to the ancestors. They reached into the ether and said, "Multiverse, what's wrong?" And Aurora received an answer, and that answer was, "Florida Man is coming for you." And so Aurora decided they would reach out to, I think, the Orange people for assistance. And Aurora's business partners got wind of this and said, oh, fuck. And then immediately held a vote to execute Aurora, which passed. And then Aurora, on the eve of their execution, had their buddies, their closest shooters, break them out of jail. And then they went to the country club where the Midgardians resided and started committing a mass casualty event. And so that's the status now. Now, when Aurora hit Midgard, I took the opportunity to have James Wilson on the show. And James Wilson was very generous to volunteer a lot of information behind the scenes to me and to the chat. And basically, what James Wilson of The Immortal said is that Aurora do be fuckboys, though. Apparently, Aurora had spies in Midgard alliances. I forget a lot of the details. James wasn't exactly forthcoming with specifics. I did press him for specifics. He refused to elaborate. But basically, according to James Wilson, Aurora has been a problem for a long time. And so this wasn't just, oh, Aurora's going behind her back, let's kick them out. Apparently, this recent drama was all kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. Xi Jinping, oh shit, I was supposed to have him on tonight, actually. I forgot. Is he here? No, but that's okay. Maybe some other time. I asked in the short 10 anyways, so it's fine. Xi Jinping was vexed, said, oh my gosh, you guys should have talked to us before kicking us out. We've been allies for so long, you've wronged us. And then Xi Jinping ends a long paragraph saying, this is our 72-hour notice. And then the next day, Aurora Carthago and Church of Adam, and I think someone else, they go in and they hit Midgard and they're fighting. And Camelot helped them too. Okay, whatever. And Hive was involved. I remember them. So Midgard's pissed because they say Xi Jinping. Well, they're getting hit first off. They were already pissed because Aurora was a shitty ally, according to them. They're pissed they're getting hit, and they're pissed even more because they claim that Xi Jinping Aurora violated the 72-hour notice. Now, there is no. It appears to me, I have asked many times, I will ask again. It appears as if the Midgard block actually does not have any written paper clauses that people agree to. So there actually is no 72-hour notice within the block. That's not a thing. There's no clause in the paperwork because there's no paperwork. So I am of the opinion that there is no 72-hour notice violation because there's no one agreed to it. Dabino says Aurora legit said this was a 72-hour notice. He didn't really say what to, though. Maybe it's a 72-hour notice before Aurora mass deletes. Who knows? So I don't know. It is what it is. But that is for people to argue about in the high court. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. They're fighting. Good luck to them. This Dark Knight will be attacking with a 72-hour notice. Toxic is running some defense for Aurora in chat. He is best equipped to do so because he has deep roots to Aurora. Take it up with him, not me. But there you go. I'm. I don't know. I don't. If I was in Midgard, maybe I'd be mad at Aurora, but I'm actually not. Anyone who wants to take look, this is a game. It's a game for fun. For fun. Any alliance that wants to start shit, I say go for it. So based Aurora hitting Midgard, being an interesting player. And they're still fighting Coven, by the way. That's still going on. So Aurora is actually in 2 separate wars, which is pretty interesting. I think that's it. That's all I really got to say about that. Good luck to everyone involved there. Now we need to talk about the main event, which is the war against Fortuna. It's a very unfortunate event. This is what happened. Florida, Odu, KT, and some others, like 30 alliances or something. We all decided to hit Fortuna. And it's a dog pile. The most competitive tier is the very upper tier, which I am fighting in as a City 37. Anything below the very upper tier, it's a dog pile, basically. As a KT member, not really happy with it, but it is what it is. And I think there's some mitigation here, which is that the Syndicate and Eclipse are like together explicitly to have that upper tier strength. So they kind of put themselves in a position a little bit, but whatever. There appears to be, from my perspective as a casual observer, a distinct lack of clarity on like a CB. And I want to contribute my thoughts to why this war is happening. So, first off, I think was it Paradise, and Cataclysm wanted to hit the Syndicate because the Syndicate bailed on them. But then there's the question of, well, why is everyone hitting Eclipse? And this is what I think it is. Okay? Disclaimer. I am a retard. Okay? If you disagree with me, that's fine. But if you really want to argue about it, go talk to Vass, because he can give you the truth. This is what I'm thinking as a naive person. What it appears to me is that the community has a rule that's not set in stone and that's very fluid, but it does a very good job enforcing of, which is that no entity is allowed to get too far ahead for too long. So what's happened with Eclipse is that Eclipse has enjoyed over a year of pretty good success. Eclipse grows in members, grows in city counts, grows that bank, and they know how to use it. Like, they can actually fight. They're not complete garbage. And so they've been allowed. They played it really well last year. Look, this is a testament to their quality. They did so good last year. But they've gotten too far ahead, and so they're getting whacked now because they need to be brought down a notch. And so you hit Eclipse, that brings in the rest of the block. So the whole block has to get whacked. That's what it is. So that's what I think. I could be wrong. Monty says, "Did you see Ashwin's wall text on Wana?" So I'm going to get into this. So, guys, a big reason why I play this game is it's a German word, Schadenfreude. I take pleasure in other people's displeasure. Now, I'm not a psychopath, but like I enjoy a train wreck. I enjoy the peanut gallery. Okay, I like sitting in my chair and seeing people flip the fuck out. It's really funny to me, and that applies to everyone. And so here in Thalmoria, we have a room called Seethe and Cope. Thank you, Shiho. Shiho posted it there in chat. We have a room here in the server in the Forbidden Archive called Seethe and Cope, or Cope and Seethe, one of the two. And it is for archiving individuals who get pissy about things. And if you go look at it right now, you will see that there are just screenshot after screenshot after screenshot of Wana. Because Wana went into Ron yesterday and today. And to put it simply, he's kind of been freaking the fuck out. Now, he's played it up some. Like, there were some parts, particularly today, where he talked like an anime character. I'm pretty sure he's playing it up there. But when he's addressing Schwinn earlier, which I made what he said to Schwinn, the pre-show ping with the smiley face. Like I think there's some genuine sentiment there. And then later on today, when he's talking about how he actually like hates all of us and has no desire to talk to us, like I think that's also pretty genuine. So like, don't get baited, guys. I know yesterday he popped off really hard, and I think you can find it there. He like, and he resumed it today. He was calling for Dr. Rush to like step down from moderation. Like guy went really off the deep end. And that's not the way you handle getting rolled. Like you take the licks and you move on. You don't. The worst thing you can do when getting rolled, for a valid reason or not, is to especially if you're FA, is to act really upset and get really really angry. That's not how you handle it. But it is what it is. Lysander has said something in chat to read. There are 3 primary segments to CB for those who still understand the war. 1, what you just said, Eclipse having gone unmatched for a while, and the general sentiment that someone has to slow down for Chino for a while. Number 2, Paradise Kata pissed at TS for being a pussy, and then technically Armin at Eclipse shooting back when Kata launched her war at Midgard, but primarily so as a TS. Number 3, the final pacifist disliked the Syndicate for being inconsistent and hypocritical in the past conduct with the final pacifists. Okay. So I'm glad that I'm actually mostly right. Maybe I do know some things about the game. But yeah, Wana really freaked out, and it looks really bad. And I don't dislike. Like I'm laughing at Wana. I don't dislike Wana. He's having a bad one. Whatever. I don't dislike the Syndicate, but I don't know. If you act like a clown, I'm gonna laugh at you. That's just how it is. That's how a lot of people in this game, I think, are. And there were some others, I think. But yeah, there you go. Stephen Cope has some great new additions thanks to this war. And I think that's basically about it. I anticipate the war will go on about 2 months. And that's going to be about it. I've been beating my targets are actually pretty close to Beijing me because they had so many ships, and we in KT we don't really use ships. And I double bought ships yesterday, but they blew them all up somehow. So they're doing okay. I mean, they've lost all their military. I'm still at max mil, except I'm missing a few planes, but I'll get back to full planes here in about 30 minutes, anyways. I am fighting the IRS. Literally, there's a syndicate member called the IRS, and I've been killing them. And that's been fun. My friend has told me to call him. So hold on.
What do we think, guys? Is he going to be summoned for jury duty? Is this it? Is this the end of Thalmor as we know it?
I have returned. Um.
Was it your friend calling you to tell you they're coming for you?
No, it was I my best friends have been hella busy lately. And so we won't be able to hang out until June. And we was trying to hang out tonight, and we can do it actually. Gosh, that's so fucking funny, Wisdom. The prison architect version of me. I am so adding it. I want to pin that shit. He said when my best friends very unusually calls me, texts me, and asks me to call him, and that's really important. I get a bit worried, so I want to make sure he wasn't like dying. But everything's okay. So I have to my other friends that I'm canceling on Magic, but that's okay. We were going to go shorter than usual tonight, anyways. That's fine. Dying for your sins. Is missing jury duty a sin? Hold on, is Piotr here? I don't see him. I need what's the theological implications of missing jury duty? Do I need to go to if I was Catholic? Do I need to go to confession over that? It's probably okay. So, that's the war. Um, I say it's gonna last 2 months. I'm probably gonna get beiged, but someone asked Piotr if missing jury duty is a sin. Um, yeah, my targets. It's like I don't care if my targets beige me though, because if they beige me, yes, I take infra damage. Who gives a shit? But like, so this war has an interesting dynamic to it, which is that yes, it's a dog pile, but there is some competitiveness in the very upper tier. Although it appears to me that Eclipse and the Syndicate did kind of give up immediately. I think they probably could have strategized a bit more to salvage what they could. Like they had their big members like declaring 6 offense wars, and just that's not what you do. But anyways, with the upper tier potentially being competitive, base discipline matters. On the lower tier, it doesn't matter. It's like 20 dudes against like 400. It doesn't really matter. But with the upper tier, it does more matter. And when people talk about who wins or loses a war, most people's immediate thought is to go to damages. Damages, it's a metric. It should be tracked. It's not everything. I think actual victory is you limit your opponent's ability to have options, basically, to mount an effective offense or defense. That's actually what victory is. And so, my concern as a non-milk again, retard. My concern as a non-Milcom person is like I am okay with my Fortuna targets beiging me because if they beige me, their offense slots can be immediately filled. Okay. Whereas if I beige them, that's just rebuild time for them. And so I'd rather eat the damage and let their slot because if their slots are kept full with people, like we've already zeroed them out or got them close to zero. We can just keep this rotation going and they can't fight back. So I'm okay with them beiging me. I don't give a shit. And here's the thing, like, I don't care what the damages are. If side A is sitting on side B and side B can't really do anything, side B loses. Unless somehow, like, it's not a golden rule, but the exception would be a really extreme example. Because that's just how it is. You should beige the IRS simply to deny DTC stats. I don't care. DCT can get his stats. I feel bad about breaking to my friends that I'm having to. Okay, well, it looks like tonight's playing with my Magic friends is fucked anyways. So canceling on them's okay. Check the war's names and sides and CT owned. Okay. By the way, I have since lost this position. I have since lost this position, but very briefly, I was number 1 in damage dealt in the war, by the way. So just bragging on myself a little bit there. Thalmor, the heavy hitter. But okay, what does CT owned have to say? It's loading. Is Piotr here? He still hasn't joined. Oh, Piotr, I missed jury duty. Is that a mortal sin? Okay, so the war is called Foursome. TKR Spear and the Fighting Pacifist Sphere and Rose Sphere against Eclipse, but the S in Eclipse is the $sign. Very unfortunate that well, I guess you can incorrectly make the argument that KT is a member of Odu, of TKR Sphere. Which we're not. All right, I think that's about it. Spear meta is dead. What about Phalanx meta? What if I got 254 of the boys and we formed 16 rows, 16 men deep with 15-meter long pikes? And we moved in a square formation. I think that's the new meta. Oh, Piotr has answered. Quote, Christians are called to be law-abiding citizens of their homeland on earth, accepting that every soul should be subject unto the higher powers. And at the same time, remember the commands of Christ. Surrender unto Caesar the things that Caesar, unto God, which is God. Thalmor, the Orthodox Church doesn't recognize mortal or venial sin, but saying that as humans there are greater sins that can be committed. Okay. So the answer is probably. Okay. Guys, that's about it for me. War will last 2 months, probably end in white peace. I really don't think I don't foresee any serious terms imposed on Fortuna. I think I would disagree if there were. I don't think Fortuna has done anything to deserve special terms or anything. um, do note that just because KT is fighting Fortuna, that does not mean that the KT Orbis threat level has decreased. That's all I'm going to say about that. All right, there you go. That's it for Politics and War. I will talk about in real life some. So final call, real life. Anything you guys want me to go over real quick? Actually, I don't have to end the show at 10 anymore because I'm not going to do magic. So actually, Lysander has a poll he wants you guys to fill out. The link is in the chat. Go do that. Playing politics in the war. We're already in hell. All right, guys. So, final call, real life. What are some stuff in the news you guys want my takes on? Anything in particular? Yes, Joe Biden has announced he is seeking re-election in 2023. That is very normal. Jerry Springer did die. Rest in peace. I liked the Jerry Springer show. It was funny. You are not the father. Always a party on the Jerry Springer show. Why? Afro Man. I don't know who Afro Man is. Illinois AWB and mag ban enforcement paused due to injunction. Based courts. Okay, guys. I don't know. I think I'm done. I gotta get ready for my best friends coming over. They gotta leave early in the morning, so we're probably not gonna do a whole lot. But we're gonna hang out some. We won't be able to hang out and get until like June. So it's been a while since I hung out with them, anyways. So that's it. Final call for everything: politics and war, real life. Any final things you guys want my take on, or am I ready to end the show? All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. This has been Thalmor Radio for 428. Listener, will you play the theme?
Thalmor Radio. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Thalmor Radio. Yeah, he's coming at you from the top. Oh no, no, he won't stop. Thalmor Radio. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Thalmor Radio.
Thalmor Radio.
I actually forgot to talk about Khan because I was at the beginning of the show in my mind I was going to talk about Khan because that was related to the Aurora stuff. but I completely set my mind, and the show's already over, and half the audience is gone. So, it fucked me, I guess. Good night.
I'll talk about Khan in a different channel if anyone wants to listen. The stage is ending, so ciao.